Steve, you've called up Lawrence Shanklin of Dundee United playing in the Championship currently. What's the thinking behind that?
Well, obviously he's a goal scorer. He's in form. I know Lawrence quite well from my time here in Scotland. I've watched him a few times. And it's not an area that we're overburdened with top strikers at the moment, so Lawrence is in form. He deserves his chance. I think the best way to look at him and to gauge what level he's at is to bring him into the squad. So it's an opportunity to have him in the group, see how he works in the squad, and hopefully he can score a few goals for us.
I know when John McGinn made his debut, he was playing in the Championship, but obviously different positions, different types of players. But does it really matter as long as you're in form?
No, I think if you're in form and you're a goal scorer, obviously he's going to come into the group with a lot of confidence. He scores goals with his head, left foot, right foot. He's a natural finisher, and that's something that maybe we haven't had in the squad recently, so hopefully this will address that.
With the likes of Lawrence coming into the squad, is there a temptation to try different things as you prepare for the playoffs?
I think you always have to be open-minded. You have to be prepared to try one or two different things, but it's also important as well that I keep faith with the players that I've got, the squad that I've got. I believe that they're better than they've shown recently, and I believe that over the coming games they'll show that to the public as well.
Ryan Jack remains in. There's been a lot of talk about what happened the last time he was on international duty. From your point of view, what did you make of Stephen Gerrard's comments?
No, listen, I understand Stephen's point of view, because you send a player to international football and he comes back injured, so you're obviously going to be upset. It was unfortunate that Ryan picked up the injury and he missed a Rangers game. Thankfully he's back now, he's playing well, and he deserves his selection again.
Did it annoy you that it seems as if you and your staff were questioned in terms of what sort of...
Listen, it's not so much an annoyance. It's, for me, it's with me and my staff, the player, was probably a lack of communication, so we have to work on that. We have to be better on that in the future, and hopefully we will be.
Steve, was that a lack of communication within your staff?
Yeah, I think within our staff we have to make sure that we address all these issues, and like I said before, hopefully it won't happen again.
Have you spoken to Stephen and or Ryan about the situation?
No, I haven't spoken to Stephen. Stephen said what he had to say in the press, and obviously I'll speak to Ryan when we meet up in camp.
How do you view these next two games, Steve?
I look forward to them. I always look forward to taking the team, working with the players. It'll be nice to get them back on the grass again, because obviously when the last double-header went against us was disappointing. All the players go back to their club and move on, and I'm left to stew on it for a couple of weeks and think about what went wrong and what we could have done better, and hopefully we can put on better performances in the two games coming up and pick up some more points, because the target, as I said after the last time, is if we can't get automatic qualification, we have to finish third in the group.
Can you give us clarity on Kieran Tierney's situation? Were you have a mind to include him? What conversations did you have with him and Arsenal?
No, it was close to selecting Kieran. Obviously Arsenal have indicated to us that they prefer us not to select him at this moment in time, because he's only played 70 odd minutes of football, and you have to respect the club's decision on that one.
Is it a disappointment for you, given that you've not had the chance to work with someone?
No, obviously I'd like to get Kieran in the squad and have him as part of the group, but at this moment in time it's more important that Kieran gets minutes on the pitch, gets himself back to full speed, and when that happens I'm sure he'll be a valuable member of the squad.
Greg Taylor hasn't featured for Celtic, but do you feel he can still do something for Scotland, even though he's probably not up to speed match-wise?
Yeah, I think so. I know Greg Taylor very well. Obviously I worked with him at Kilmarnock. I know that although he's not getting minutes on the pitch just now with Celtic, which is probably more due to the form of the left back that's in possession of the jersey at the moment than Greg himself. I know he trains well, I know he works well, and if we need to call on him, I've got 100% confidence in Greg.
These are two very different games when you look at Russia and San Marino. When you look at San Marino, does that give you a chance to maybe give some players a chance that haven't had it before?
No, I think you have to look at the first game coming up. We have to get through the first game. We have to go to Russia. We have to put on a good performance and hopefully pick up points. And then after that, you assess the squad. You assess what you've got, injury-wise, not-wise, whether you can bring one or two into the team that might benefit from a game and hopefully get a result against San Marino.
When you brooded over for the 2 or 3 weeks after the last games, What were the areas you felt could have merited improvement in particular?
No, I think when you look at the games, is the number of chances that we conceded to both teams. Obviously we conceded 6 goals. The Belgian game in particular, I was disappointed the fact that 3 of those goals were preventable. The counter-attack goal from our free kick and the 2 corner kicks that Belgium scored from. These are key moments in international games, and you can't afford to give away soft goals that are preventable, especially against a team like Belgium. So those are the issues that we have to address. If we want to be successful, we have to defend better as a team. We have to make the games tighter, and obviously then you've got a chance to win matches.
How much is this a learning process for you at this level?
Yeah, of course, this is only the 3rd time I've got the boys together, so for me I'm learning all the time. Hopefully I learn well and I learn quickly.
Steve, there's no place for Armstrong, Phillips or Naismith. Is that form related or any injuries?
No, Stuart Armstrong I've chosen to leave out because I wanted to bring John Fleck in. John's playing week in, week out for Sheffield United. Stuart's not featuring regularly for Southampton. I had a good chat with Stuart on the phone over the last 24 hours, and although he's really disappointed to be out of the squad, I think he understands where we're coming from. Stephen Naismith hasn't played since the last squad, so Stephen's omission is injury related, and Matt Phillips is going to get a little surgical procedure done in the next international break, so Matt's not available either.
And it just comes too soon for Lee Griffiths as well?
Yeah, I think so. Lee's not been involved recently with Celtic, so hopefully I've managed to put another goal scorer into the squad and we get a chance to see what Lawrence can do.
Steve, what level of control, of input do the clubs have when you've got their player in terms of what surface they should play on, what the training should be, whether they should play both games as a double header? What's the communication like there?
The communication is normally pretty decent. Obviously, as we've just touched on, I'm learning all the time as I go along, and I'm learning on my feet on these jobs. And I think communication with the clubs is really important because the players belong to the clubs, and we have to look after them when we have us, and hopefully, like I said before, send them back fitting well.
Looking back on the criticism from Steven Gerrard, should that have been kept private, in your opinion?
It would have been better if it had been dealt with privately, but
You didn't feel the need to have a conversation with them, you just let it go?
no, I didn't feel the need to have the conversation.
Are you enjoying the job?
Yeah, it's different, completely different. I miss the coaching time. I miss the minutes on the pitch with the players. I think there's a little bit more classroom work, video related work than actually getting the boys on the grass. And this camp is also a learning curve for me because we play on the Thursday night, which seemed a really short time between the players. A lot of them will play on the Sunday, or a few of them will play on the Sunday, and then we have to travel 4 hours to Russia. So it'll be another interesting and good learning experience for myself.
What pressure do you feel being national manager?
The pressure to win games, the pressure to keep the Tartan Army happy, to keep them on side. That's what we have to do. We have to win matches. Listen, there's no secret in football. The best way to make everybody happy, whether you're a club job or an international job, is to win games. And in the 4 games I've been in charge, we've only managed to win 1 of them. So we have to address that and we have to get better.
Steve, you talked about the positivity there, and when you arrived there's huge positivity, and then you've mentioned the results there. As you look ahead to the playoffs in March, how important is it that there's something for the fans to grab ahead of those games?
I think it's always important for the supporters, but that comes back to what I've just been talking about, is winning matches. You have to win football matches, and if we start to win matches and look like a decent team on the pitch, I see the guys when I get them in training, I get them together and I see the level, and they're not transferring that level from the training performances onto the matches at this moment in time. So that's something we have to address. And if we can keep winning, if we can start to win matches, then everyone will be on side and everyone will be positive come March.
I appreciate it'll be horses for courses in terms of the way you set up against particular opposition, but I'm thinking defensively as a unit, are you still inclined to go with a back 4?
These are things that you have to discuss and you have to decide. Back 4, back 3, back 5. It's not really so much about the formation, it's about the mentality, the attitude of the players when they get on the pitch, and hopefully you see improvement over the next 4 games.
And just on Lawrence Shanklin again, what message does this send to other players that are not playing at the top flight in Scotland or the English Championship or the Prem?
I think it sends a message that if you're doing well, you always have a chance to be selected for your country. I know Lawrence is delighted that he's been called up, and like I said before, it's a chance for me to see him, engage him against the other players within the squad.
And just for clarity, Steve, just the final point on the Ryan Jack situation, you said you need better communication within your staff. Did you know that Rangers were managing a knee situation with Ryan Jack, or was that news to you?
That was news to me.
Steve, how close is Billy Gilmore to being in the squad?
Probably not as close as people would think. Listen, Billy's an exceptional talent, an exceptional young talent, and we have to give the young players time to grow and develop. And I think the best place for them to do that is in Scott's under-21 team. There's a lot of good boys down there. I consider Mikey Johnson as well, who's been in terrific form for Celtic. Ryan Porteous has got back in the Hibs team and looks a decent prospect. Fraser Hornby up front looks a handful. So Scott's got some good players there, and it's important that they grow together as a group. And if they can develop and get a winning mentality, then that will be good for Scotland in the future.